Hey everyone, welcome to Middle Life DIY, where today we're going to do some honey melt and pour soap making that's beginner friendly. So first things first, we're going to cover everything that you'll need in order to make your honey soap. Most important is our melt and pour soap base. So we have this is 5.2 pounds of honey melt and pour soap base. I get this on Amazon. It is roughly $38–40. The price tends to fluctuate pretty regularly, but I find this to be the best value for the money. 5.2 pounds is a pretty decent amount of soap, and it will make a lot of soap for you. Depending on the size of your bars, that's why I'm not giving you a bar number. Depending on the size of the bars, it'll make either way, it's a decent amount of soap. So there's our soap base. Next thing is our mold. Molds can come in a variety of shapes and sizes. This will make a nice bar for us to cut a bunch of slices out of, or you can just get a mold like this, where you can pour individual bars of soap into. It tends to go faster if you do the individual bars. The soap doesn't need quite as long to solidify. We will also need our melt and pour pot here. So this is our soap melting pot. We're going to use some smaller batches today, so we will only be going up to low heat. We will not have a need for the high heat at all. Spatula, silicone spatula, so that we can stir our soap as we're melting. And we've got our essential oils. Today we'll be using lemon and sweet orange. Once our soap is made, we'll be using our measuring and cut. Because I'm making a bar of soap, we'll be cutting and measuring. You have a couple choices when you cut. I love this wavy cutter. Pardon me. I love the wavy cutter. I just find it just makes the most beautiful kind of artsy looking soap slices. So that's my personal favorite. Okay, let's get to it. So here we are. We've cubed our honey soap here, and we've got it into the melter. I've got the melter turned on to low. We're just going to slowly and gently bring it up to a nice soft melted temperature, taking extra care to make sure that it does not boil. Today we're going to add some orange and lemon essential oil, sweet orange and lemon to be precise, to our soap. I've chosen to keep it super natural and not add any color to the soap that we make today. It's such a beautiful amber shade as it is naturally that I just think we'll enjoy it as is. It's sort of a sweet orange color already, so that goes with the scent we have. The honey soap base is a little bit less florally fragrant than the goat's milk soap is. We're going to try and get away with stirring it the least amount possible, just to preserve it and to avoid creating bubbles and hence skin. The melt and pour honey soap is known to be extra moisturizing. It's a nutrient-rich cleanser, and honey itself is a natural humectant to attract and retain skin moisture. It's also known to act as a bit of an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant-rich, and antibacterial agent, making it pretty nice for soothing, clearing acne, and supporting overall skin health. It's probably the most gentle cleansing soap next to oatmeal that you can find anywhere. And the nice thing is that it's made from natural ingredients that are vegetable-based oils and real honey. Something to keep in mind if anyone in your household has any allergies to dairy products, sometimes that translates to your soap as well. So keep an eye out for that with your goat's milk. People that are dairy allergic tend to also react to the goat's milk or any soap containing any milk in it. So honey soap is a really nice alternative for that. Now while I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, oh, I see a few bubbles down there. Not sure if it's showing up on camera, but there's a few bubbles starting to happen down there at the very base. So I'm just going to turn the heat off for a moment to allow it to settle. While I'm allowing it to do that, I'm just going to open up my essential oil bottles so they're ready to go. This soap's going to smell fantastic. When we're adding essential oils, the general measurement is about 0.5 of an ounce of essential oil per 1 pound of soap base, which is roughly 2 to 3 teaspoons or 15 to 20 drops. So keeping that in mind so you don't overdose on your essential oils or underdose and wonder where in the world those beautiful scents went. Now you also want to wait to add your essential oils until right at the very last moment before you're going to pour your softened soap, your melted soap base into the mold, because the essential oil will actually evaporate off. So you want to wait till the very last moment so that you can capture and keep as much of the essential oil still in your soap base as possible. So recommended essential oil combinations for honey soap are orange and lemon together. If you prefer more of a calming floral, lavender and rosemary, or lavender with ylang ylang. Warm and earthy would be a cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood trio. And herbal and fresh would be my personal favorite, the peppermint and eucalyptus. I'm going to go ahead now. What I've done here is just kind of staying on top of this so that we can make sure it's such a delicate balance to keep it moving, to avoid boiling, but to not over stir it. Looks good. Looks great. It smells fantastic. Perfect. So just going to pop the lid on there so that it can continue to heat up and melt. So it's continuing to boil, and what's happening here is something that commonly happens is it kind of almost hardens on top and then it superheats underneath. So this is sort of what I was referring to when I was saying that it's a delicate balance between not stirring too much, but keeping it sort of all moving in an effort to avoid it clumping like this all together. So we're just going to kind of lovingly coax the bits apart here. I've turned the heat off for a few moments just while I do this. See if we can get it back on track here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put the heat back on to low. This isn't actually, it looks like it was a lot of soap when we put it in the melt and pour pot initially, but as a general rule of thumb, it's actually not that much. You really want to try and get away with using the lowest heat setting possible to achieve your melt on your soap, just in an effort to avoid it burning. Honey soap in particular is prone to burning. There we go, it's coming along. Okay, looks like it's time to add our essential oils. There's got one tiny piece in there that's just finishing up melting. We're just adding our essential oils in here. Some of these droppers for these oils kind of drip real slow, so there we go. There we go. So our oil is blended in. Our soap is nice and completely melted. So I'm just going to unplug my pot so I can easily pour into the mold we've got here. Okay, here we go. We're just going to pour really slow and gently and consistently. That lemon and sweet orange smells absolutely sublime. Really nice. Looks like I might have some extra left over, so I may just quickly grab another small single bar mold. We sure don't want to waste, so we'll pour a couple smaller single bars. And there we have it. We have our main bar here, and then our three kind of 2.5 bonus bars there. That this it was a third of that soap base that we cut and added to this. So that's pretty decent. Although this is an extraordinarily shallow, tiny little mold. It's definitely not 32 ounce. I don't think it's 32 ounces even. Regardless, when I make the bars that are like this, it takes an extra long time for the soap itself to cure up and cool down and solidify. So I always leave these bars for 24 hours to set. These little guys, usually 3 to 5 hours, and you're safe to unmold them without them being too loose and too warm. So we will check back in when these have set for 24 hours, which for you will be 5 or 10 seconds, but for me it'll be 24. So we'll see you again in just a moment. Hello, welcome back everybody. We are back and ready to check out the soap. It has been 24 hours. So here we have our soap that we made. We poured those individuals with the extra soap we had left, and we made our big bar. So we'll go ahead and unmold our soap here. Let's see what we created. See how it looks. This mold has a really strong bottom, so going to be a bit of wrestling here to get it out, I think. Okay, so here we are. We've got our honey soap is all ready. It's been 24 hours and it's ready to be unmolded. I wrestled it a little bit off camera because it is in there good. So here we have, what a pretty gorgeous, gorgeous colored soap. My goodness me. So there we have it. What a cool colored soap. And it smells sublime with that sweet orange and lemon. Perfect. Well, how about let's see how it cuts for us. So we're gonna pop our cutter. There we are. I love this wavy cutter, so that's what I'm going to try to cut with today, making sure I cut down straight. Oh, fresh soap just cuts like fudge. It's amazing. Let's see what we've got here for our slice. It's so tiny. So there you have it. There is a slice of our gorgeous, gorgeous honey, sweet orange, and lemon soap. There you are. Well, thank you everyone. Thanks so much for joining me for this adventure today, for this DIY easy soap making for beginners. If you enjoyed this or found it helpful, please drop a like or a comment if you have any questions about this process. And if you'd like to see more soap making adventures, we've got some really cool new things we're trying coming along here. Please consider subscribing. Thanks so much.